What's good in the hood, y'all? It's your girl KatSavvie, and if you stumbled across my video and if you found your way here, it most likely means that you are debating whether or not to buy the Razer Ripsaw HD, or you have it and you're trying to figure out how to make it work. I'm here to give a comprehensive, complete review as well as critique because the Razer Ripsaw has a fatal flaw. And this depends on what you're trying to do with it. So today we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. First off, let me say I'm sorry if there's any background noise. I'm sorry if there's cars rolling by outside. This is just very unconventional. It's very put together, it's very just thrown all together. But it is what it is, and we're going to make this work, okay? So first I just want to say that this is my first time attempting a video like this. I've never done any sort of tutorial video having to do with tech stuff. I am not a techie person. This is my first attempt at really trying my own sort of capture card. Before the Razer Ripsaw, I was using a non-brand capture card from Amazon. Now, granted, this works just fine. If you just want to stream, if you just want a capture card that is going to do its job, the non-brand works just fine. The reason that I got my Razer Ripsaw was because I wanted to stream in 1080 and I wanted to make YouTube videos of my gameplay in higher quality. So the pros about the Razer Ripsaw is that it does have 4K pass-through. It is a beautiful quality capture card, and it does stream in 1080. In order to do that, the requirements of your PC, Windows 8 64-bit or higher, your CPU or your processor on your desktop needs to be Intel Core i3-6100 or higher, and if it's on a laptop, it needs to be Intel Core i7-4810 or higher. And as far as your GPU, as far as your graphics card, you need at least a NVIDIA GE GTX 660 or higher. As far as your laptop, you need the GTX 870 or higher, and at least 4 gigs of memory on both desktop and laptop. With that being said, if you have those things, cool. I'm gonna show you some problems that I ran into while I was attempting to set mine up. It took me 6 hours of fighting with everything, looking through resources, looking through Google, looking through YouTube to try to find what worked for me. I'm gonna show you guys my setup so that you can actually see what I'm working with. I'm gonna show you what worked for me. I'm gonna show you the tips and tricks that I needed in order to fix it. I'm gonna show you all the stuff that you'll ever need to decide if this is actually right for you. So this is my setup. This is what I've been using for the past 3 years to stream my content from. My first monitor is for gaming. My second monitor is for streaming. The capture card is underneath the streaming monitor. I have my HyperX Quadcast mic, my Stream Deck, my Zydex PC, and my P5. I use my PC to stream my P5 games. And real quickly, I wanted to show you guys what the Razer actually looked like. So it has one HDMI cable that's already included. I use that cable to plug it into my console. The USB-C to A port, the small one, goes into the PC. And then the last HDMI cord was not included. That was the one that I used to connect it to my monitor. And on the other side, it has the headset and the microphone ports. All right, so we're here now. You can see my mic moving. You can see all the stuff that's going on in here. Good, great. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the live scene, right? And I'm also going to turn my camera on here so that you can see me. And you can also see that the capture card is working for now. That's great, okay? So here is the first problem. If you can't get this, on your screen, This might be why. Okay. Depending on your console, I can only speak for P5 because this is all that I have. I don't have Xbox, nor do I have experience with it when it comes to anything past the 360. It may be possible that your HDMI system is not allowing the Razer to show the gameplay on the monitor. This is the HDCP. If this is enabled, it is preventing your Razer from capturing your gameplay from your PS5 or your PS4 and showing it on your monitor. If it's blinking, if it's blacked out, if it's saying no input, if it's saying no signal, this may be the reason. I was not able to see anything until I turned this off. Now, granted, if you do turn this off, certain apps like Netflix or possibly Twitch, if you run Twitch on your console, will not be able to be pulled up until you turn that back on. But for the most part, all the games that I've been trying to play, all the ones that you see here, showed up. So it worked for me. Now, if that doesn't work, you may need an HDMI splitter. And if that doesn't work, I'm sorry to say that I just don't have those answers. But it may be an actual fault in the capture card. If you do try those two and it doesn't work, it may be the fault of the actual Razer at that point. Try to update the firmware, try to update the drivers. If that all doesn't work, then it just doesn't work. That's the first thing. Second thing is if you are in the actual OBS studio. I'm using Streamlabs OBS. If you're using OBS, try to use it however you can. That will match up with me. But if you get to this point, now you're finally ready to add your capture card. Great, cool. You're going to go to your sources. You're going to go to video capture. I already have my capture card here, so we're just going to add this here, but I'm still going to do it with you. So we're just going to make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Now you can see here that my capture card audio is already going. It's already cool. But when you get the Razer off drop, for some reason, they set the volume levels way lower than it needs to be before you even do anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our sound here. We're going to right click this and click sounds. Before you do anything, check and make sure that your recording of the Razer Ripsaw HD HDMI. Make sure that when you go to the properties and you go to the levels, that this is all the way up, okay? Because if it's not all the way up, then that means that they left it at 50 and 40. When I first came to this tab and I first turned it on, mine was on 40. And I heard nothing. It didn't matter if I turned the slider all the way up. It didn't matter if I raised the gain. I did not hear anything. So I turned that all the way up to 100. If that doesn't work, then you go to the listen tab and you hit listen to this advice. Listen to this device. And you make sure that the playback is your speaker. I can't speak on this method. This is more so a last ditch method. And I didn't need to do this because once I turned the levels all the way up, then I could hear everything just fine. So I will put videos in the description of these methods from the videos that I watched that led me to come to these conclusions. But as far as that method, I can't speak on that. But once you have the levels all the way up, you're going to hit OK and you're going to hit OK. Now we're going to go to our capture card. Go to the properties, make sure that everything looks good here. The resolution, FPS type can be device default. It could be whatever you want to set it, but it's going to be at 1080. The capture audio only, I have it working just fine as is, but if you want it to be one of these on the direct sound or the wave out, it could be either of those, whatever works best for you. And then the microphone, you want to make sure is the HD HDMI. The two Razer Ripsaw HD is the actual capture card. It is not the sound of your console. So if you hit the Razer Ripsaw HD, you are asking for the sound to come from the capture card itself to which nothing is going to come from because there's no sound in there. I don't even know why that's an option. So you want to make sure that it's on your HDMI so that it can pull the sound from your console. You're going to hit close. All right, so now you have everything pulled up. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I don't need this on this scene. Okay, so now we're going to go to the actual scene that I have this on. So here is where we talk about the fatal flaw of the Razer Ripsaw HD. And this is more so specifically for people like me who play Apex, who play Fortnite, who play COD, who play Warzone. The FPS shooter people. This is why you don't want the Razer, okay? So, as we speak right now, I have my microphone plugged into my Razer Ripsaw. But I'm going to unplug it for the sake of this, okay? Okay. So, the audio is being captured just fine, right? We're going to go down here real quick, and we're going to grab a gun. Alright, so I have my gun, and we are now set up, okay? So, I'm going to show you guys what happens. If we shoot, it should capture right now. Okay, so you can hear that, right? Great. Comes in clear. Comes in nice. I purposefully have the levels higher so that you can hear what happens as it's happening. I am recording from the Razer Ripsaw so you can see firsthand what's wrong with it, okay? So, the levels are being captured just fine right now.
Jump drive out.
You can hear everything as it's happening. The problem with the Razer Ripsaw is as soon as you plug your headset, your 3mm, into your controller, it stops capturing all audio. You're going to hear a sound that sounds like static. It's the capture card. Now, you're probably looking at me and you're like, duh, Kat, you need a splitter. Of course. You have the splitter and it's going to split the headset audio to your controller, to the game, to the capture card. That doesn't mean respectfully, not to y'all. That doesn't mean I have an Elgato chat splitter. Okay? Now, this may be because it's Elgato, but I honestly don't think so because this was working just fine with my off-brand capture card. But even with the splitter, I'm doing it with y'all. Unplug the splitter. Okay. So clearly we have a problem. The sad part is that if you are not an FPS player and you play a game like Fortnite or you play a game where you don't really need to hear the gameplay audio, then this isn't that big of a deal. But for us shooter players, we need to be able to hear what we're doing and have it show up for our content that we're creating. So, the problem is that if you didn't want to hear anything and you go to your sound and you put the output as your TV, then the sound comes through. Then you can hear everything again. But we can't hear anything. And we're back to square one. We're back to everything being out here, but nothing's coming through here. And if we go back one more time, and we go to the sound again, and we just adjust the headset to not hear game audio and just to hear voice chat audio, then again, we're back to the same problem. I could hear my party, but I can't hear the game. So, all in all, with everything being said, should you buy the Razer Ripsaw HD? The TLDR of it is, if you are a Apex streamer, if you are a COD streamer, if you are a Warzone streamer, if you play shooters, or if you just want to actively hear your gameplay while being able to hear it with chat, do not get the Razer Ripsaw HD. This is not the HD capture card for you. I have an Elgato that's coming. I will give a review on my Elgato. I was trying to avoid it as much as possible, and I ended up getting this attempting to avoid it, but I'm going to have to get it anyway. If you do not play shooters, and you play cozy games, you play story games, you play RPGs, and you play things where you can plug your headset into the capture card and not have to worry about your controller, then this is actually a good capture card for you. If you are a PC streamer and you aren't even worried about a console, this is a good capture card for you. As much as I want to hate on it, it is beautiful. You saw the quality live and in 4K. It is beautiful. But for shooters, it doesn't work, unfortunately. I hope that this video helps somebody out there. I hope that this walkthrough can kind of show the pros and cons of it, and what can work and what doesn't work. If you guys find a fix to it, if you guys find some way to make the audio work and some way to have the controller pick up the audio without getting too many extra cables or having to get a Bluetooth headset to be able to even have this work and then have to go through that whole thing, let me know. But as far as I know, this is the furthest conclusion that I can come to. So leave a like on this video if it helped you. Leave a like if you enjoyed. This was my first attempt at doing anything like this. Subscribe if you want. I do, upload some content. I be doing my thing, when my capture card working, I be doing my thing. I appreciate y'all. And it feels good to be able to get my frustrations out, but I hope that this has some sort of fix later down the line. Customer service was just trying to troubleshoot me to death and just troubleshoot, plug it all back in, and it wasn't working. So I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. But for now, peace.